Hello everybody, welcome to a new video, and today we're going to be doing another How to Play COD episode. This is episode 5, and today we're going to be looking at routes. So basically I'm just going to cover what you need to be thinking about when running routes around the map. I've broken it down into 7 steps, so I'm just going to go through those and explain each one, then probably go into some live examples after, and yeah, that should be good, so let's get into it. Now the first thing when you're choosing the route you want to run is when you pay attention to the spawns. Now I've covered this in my last 2 episodes, so you should have a pretty good idea of where people should be spawning at what times, where people will be spawning in proportion to where you are, where your teammates are. So you want to take that into consideration when choosing your routes, because if you want to be someone who avoids a spawn, you don't want to be running directly into one basically. Now the next one is you want to be paying attention to what gun you have on. So if you have a sniper rifle, obviously the whole map is opened up to pay a bit more distance. You don't need to run as much to get to people, because if you're using a shotgun, you're going to have to pick very much the close range routes so that you have the advantage. So when you get up close range with the enemy, you have the advantage of the shotgun. Whereas the sniper rifle, you can hold on a bit more further back and you don't need to do as much running. Obviously assault rifles and submachine guns and light machine guns are a bit of the in-between. They're long range, short range, mid range, they're all over the shop. So yeah, make sure you pay attention to what gun you have and don't play like a shotgun player if using a sniper unless you're insanely good. Okay, so you also want to be paying attention to where your team are as well. So if you've got 3 players in a TDM game on one side of the map, you maybe want to avoid that side of the map if you want to stay alive, because you know that the enemy are probably going to be drawn to that area more. And what you could do is use the flank instead to go behind and take the advantage there. And also, if you see one teammate on one lane of the map, say the right lane of the map, and you see that he dies, maybe that's the route that you might want to run, because you know there's an enemy there already, so you can get the advantage ahead of them and then get a free kill off of it. You also have to know what your play style is and how you want to play, and maybe just in that particular game because of the gun that you're using, because obviously if you're using a shotgun you're going to be a bit more rushy. If you're using a sniper you might be a bit standoffish, so you want to pay attention to your play style. So if you want to be aggressive, you want to be getting down those hard flanks, you want to be picking the routes that will give you the most aggressive style gameplay. If you're a bit hold offish, you like trying to get streaks, maybe you won't be running really long routes as much, but you'll just be running short routes, sitting outside the spawns and stuff, maneuvering between the spawns, instead of charging full on into the head of them. Now you also want to pay attention to what kind of team they have as well. If you know their team is full of snipers, then you're going to want to avoid the routes where they've got long lines of sight so they can shoot you. You're going to want to run around the close range areas if you're using a submachine gun or a shotgun, because you know that they can pick you off from distance and you're not going to be able to kill them from far away. But I'll do a whole other episode on in-game variables, so things that change between games and how to notice what the in-game variables are, but that's going to be for another episode. Obviously if there's an objective in the game, you're going to be paying attention to that as well. So if you're playing domination, you've got the A and the B flag and they've got the C flag, all the routes that you're going to be running are going to be heading towards C most likely, because that's where they're going to be spawning. Obviously if they have C and B and you only have A, you're going to be trying to run as many routes as possible to give you the best advantage for you getting B back, so that kind of thing. Obviously if it's game modes like hardpoint, you're going to want to be, because the hardpoint moves around the map, I think it's like every 50 seconds or something, or every minute. I think Fracture is the deposit moves every minute, so you're going to want to be picking our routes based on where the objective is, at what times, when's it going to change, are all the enemy on the objective, all these kind of things. And finally, you just want to know what you want to achieve from that route. So only run a route if you know what you're going to achieve from it. Obviously sometimes the games can be a bit weird and you've just got to take decisions and just take things on a whim, not really knowing what you're doing. But you always should have a general idea of what you're trying to achieve. So if you're trying to hit clips, you want to be running the routes to the spawns and stuff like that. If you want to be getting streaks, you want to be standoffish and stuff, so you don't want to be running the aggressive routes. If you want to do a flank, make sure you're running down the left and right lanes, flanking around the back and doing all that kind of jazz. So you want to know what you want to achieve from the lobby. If you want to get tons of kills, you're going to be running the routes towards the spawns, to where all the people are. If you want to try to get streaks and you're not really bothered, you're bothered about your KD, you want to be a bit more standoffish and run shorter routes rather than the long routes that go all the way to the spawns and things like that. So you just got to think about all these things and take all these things into consideration in choosing a route. But yeah, we're going to jump into some live examples now, so yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so I forgot to add a map to the list as well, but I should have added that one. So obviously you want to run the routes depending on what map you're playing. Right, so I've just joined this game Combine, so I've just spawned at B, so what route do I want to run? I know there's a guy on my left, I know they're definitely going to be in mid, and we've just got wraps, which is pretty safe. So I'm going to run this way because I know this map's kind of small, so I want to give myself the biggest amount of advantage with distance, with this, especially as I'm using an SVG as well, which is quite a slow rate of fire rifle. So I want to make sure I've got as much distance away from the enemy as possible. So places like here, so I can see to that top flank there. Sorry, top flank? What am I talking about? Top ledge over there. Might push this. I'm quite an aggressive player as it is, so I'll probably push this because I want to try and hit some clips. Missed a shot there. Right, they should... Yeah, I knew they'd still be spawning back there. There's a pre-aim there, so... I knew they were going to be running through, so I pre-aimed it. Which is a bit scummy in some people's eyes, and it's annoying when you die by it, but, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Now, we just got a bit of fringe now, and I'm using the SVG again. So with fringe, I know that the middle lane and the right lane towards train line, those both have long lines of sight, so I'm probably trying to stick to those areas more than, you know, the left lane, because that's quite close range, so trying to hit that with an SVG would be quite hard. So I'm going to stick more to these left and middle lanes. Now I know at the start of the game they're all going to be rushing mid, so I'm going to sit and head camp behind this barrel, you know, pick that guy off, give myself the advantage there, jump over to this car. You know, I don't know if anyone's going to run around there, someone might pop into mid as well. Okay, so we've just put our whole team's just pushed there, so they're not going to be mid anymore. So I was thinking, okay, right, they might be going train line. Okay, so I give myself the advantage there, pre-aim down that corridor. Right, I know there's a guy up in that top building now. So I'm going to give myself the advantage, give myself some distance to try and get a jump shot in there. Okay, there's no spawning there either. Okay, there's a guy here. See that? Well, I died there, so he wasn't there when I pre-aimed him, but there you go. So I've spawned on this right side of the map, so I want to get the hell out of this side of the map. So I'm going to be running the fastest route to get out. I know that they might be spawning back here. And there's a guy pre-aiming. I'm going to get his head. Right, so I'm using the VMP now, so a completely different gun. Just so, you know, you can see, you know, what to do with different routes and stuff, different weapons. Now, there is, I see a red dot back here somewhere. There he is. Okay, so let's get that guy, right. What route do we want to run? I don't really want to run train line, because I'm using a submachine gun. Yeah, I don't really want to run train lines, because I'm using a submachine gun. I want to stick. So this is probably when I start using that. This is probably when that was awful shooting, by the way. This is probably when I start using this left side of the map a bit more. I knew they're going to come through here. They've got it, right? Yeah, there's one. So I'm just going to stick here. I'm not even going to push it, because I know for a fact they're probably going to try and push me at some point. So I'm just going to let them do that thing. We're watching this side. So you just got to be thinking about, you know, what gun have I got? What will give me the best advantage where? And that kind of thing. Well, I did not expect that guy to be back there, but you know, sometimes you just can't predict these things. Right, now I'm going to try using a shotgun. This is a completely different ball game. I'm going to have to get super close to people now if I want to kill them. Or just get rippered. So what route do I want to run? Well, I want to probably go towards the house area, because I know I'll be in really close range quarters there, so I can get easy kills. I know there's a guy that's been looking out that window for most of this game, so... Is he downstairs? Alright, steal this guy's guardian. Yes, I? Fuck you. Oh my god, see, I was going off there. See, I was exploiting the use of the house there. And the fact of that, you know, the close range. I wasn't running in really long range areas. See, I'm sticking to the barn now, because I know that this is obviously another high traffic area. And I've got the advantage of, you know, close range. So I'm going to push through this house now. Whip out the purifier, because I need to do it for my daily contract. Okay, so I'm just going to use the optic locus for this whole game. And hopefully get some examples of what routes to run. So what I'll be doing for this game is probably most likely running back to the same sort of spots, you know, to that truck there, to this truck here, and then to mid here. Because I like, you know, I like going for clips, I like getting lots of kills and stuff. So, and there's 2 spawn traps here. There's one back there which I always try and get, and there's one over there as well, which I'm. This weird sniper combination. This is random. Oh my god, I've like never used this sniper combination in my life, and I've just picked it up. See, this is what most snipers use. Sorry, this is what most snipers do. They just sit in the top window and just pre-aim. But I'll tell you why you should never run that route towards windows, unless it's maybe for a kill or you're just there anyway. It's because it's easy pickings for good snipers. It's just easy. You're better off head camping on trucks and stuff than in windows. Because I love it when people go into windows, personally, because it's just free kills for me. Oh my god, I'm just wrecking with this thing. But yeah, it's just easy kills for Callum, so I'm just like, oh well. Thanks for going into that window giving me out the free kill. I'm 10 points over rate right now. I'm gonna try and get it. There we go. I know I got most of the kills from that window there, but that was a very weird and specific example of that actually working. If they had good snipers on their team, I would have been fucked there. So this guy knows now that I keep running to Z in the middle here, so he keeps pre-aiming off spawn. It's this blue Reaper guy, he keeps pre-aiming because he knows I go there like all the time. So you want to be paying attention to that as well, so you don't want to be running the same routes over and over again. Because more than likely, if they have good teammates on the other team, they'll remember, so they'll keep running to that same spot, and they'll keep trying to kill you, and eventually they will kill you off your streak or your clip or whatever. So you want to make sure you're not running the exact same route every time and mix it up a bit. I could have had a clip there. So I'm just in this game of Havoc right now, so I know the fact that they keep running towards this building here. They just keep doing it over and over again like everyone does on Havoc. But I've got an SVG out and it's quite a close range area, so I've got to be really cautious and standoffish. There's a guy prone on the floor there. So I want to keep the long lines of sight so I can see to that bottom area and the top area here. But I also want to be watching for that mid door, because I know they keep running out of there as well. See, that guy's just died. So I don't really want to push this too much, because right, there's 3 of them in there, and I just died. But there you go. I probably shouldn't have pushed that anyway with the SVG, but they were just sat in there and I wanted to get some kills, so that's just what happens. But if you're prepared to run a stupid route, be prepared to die, basically. That should just be a rule. Okay guys, that's going to do it for the video today. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something from it. So yeah, just follow those 7 steps, or 8 steps, including maps. Just follow those 8 things, just be thinking about those 8 things when you're playing and choosing your routes. And yeah, it should hopefully benefit you, and you hopefully should see a little bit of improvement in your gameplay. So yeah, leave a like guys, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.